Further, a routine inspection had been made of the rig in question prior to the tragic accident suffered by Benjamin Gillis. And at that time, 4 safety violations were discovered. Capwell Enterprises moved immediately and swiftly to correct the errors, and in point of fact, all deficiencies were corrected and so certified by the state safety inspector before the date of the accident.
Do you mind if I interrupt you for just a minute?
Go right ahead. I'm finished with my statement.
Well, according to my records, the main piece of safety equipment was installed within 48 hours, 2 days of the report?
Indeed it was, which amply demonstrates our point, that Capwell Enterprises moved heaven and earth to correct the deficiencies as quickly as possible once they were pointed out to us. Now, in short, there is no question of negligence. And if you insist on bringing this non-case to court, our first motion will be to ask the court to dismiss. And I might add that in so doing, we will be relieving Mrs. Gillis of the burden of having to pay useless attorney's fees. We would like to go on record at this time as warning Mrs. Gillis that her attorney is building her expectations beyond what they should be if she thinks that she can possibly win such a lawsuit.
Well, Earl, I'm afraid you're mistaken about that. Because you see, my associate and I are working strictly on a contingency basis, and we believe Mrs. Gillis's expectations to be justifiably high. As you see, the truth of the matter is that while you claim those pressure relief valves were installed within 2 days, I can call expert witnesses who will testify that it takes an absolute minimum of 3 days to install such equipment properly. And that, in fact, even those hasty protective measures were not followed. Capwell Enterprises attempted to cover up the safety violations in the interest of saving money, on which it has always placed a higher premium than life itself. Furthermore, we intend to prove that management knew about the problem and bribed the inspecting official to turn their head the other way and certify to a correction that had never actually been made.
A lie, Mason, and you know it. I don't operate that way, and I never have.
No, Dad, you usually let somebody else do the dirty work for you. In this case, it was your supervisory personnel, and Lindsay and I intend to prove that.
No, Mason, you can't ever possibly prove that anyone was ever bribed, because it didn't happen.
Off the record, Earl, would you like to bet on that? No, I didn't think so. No, I believe what we have here is a classic case of David versus Goliath. And I believe that both the press and public sentiment are going to be on Maggie's side when the facts come out. If I were your attorney and advising you, Dad, I'd tell you you probably have a tough fight ahead of you. Very tough indeed.